Figure Force. It's Figure Force, YouTube toy collective, vlogging to save the day. Figure Force. Nostalgic vintage toy heroes. Figure Force.
Figure Force is the codename of 4 daring, middle-aged, highly obsessed toy bloggers. Its purpose: to bring toy reviews and nostalgia to YouTube, a video sharing website that allows users to upload, view, share and comment. Hi, I'm Rudy Zissou, and there's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man. In the last Figure Force video, you heard about me watching 18 certificated movies when I was a young child, and it kind of, became part of why I wanted to get, the Sergeant Apone figure. And it really didn't stop there. It proper sparked something inside me, and I was just like, I want to get something else from one of the movies that, I did watch as, I think I was 10 when I saw this. And after looking at the card back to Sergeant Apone, I was looking at the Predators and I was thinking, God, I really want a Predator now. But there is a whole range just in this Neca Kenner inspired version, as well as the Real Toys Neca combos, and I was just like, oh man, that choice is vast. But I really wanted to pick up a Predator figure. I love the Predator movie. It didn't give me nightmares as much as the Terminator and Aliens, but it still gave me nightmares, when he reveals his helmet and you just see the crazy looking mandible, very alien looking face. It does give a 10-year-old nightmares. And I thought, you know what, Sergeant Apone is such an amazing figure. I've been incredibly lucky with the choices of the Neca figures that I've picked up over the last year or so, that I just know the quality and the sculpting is just going to be there. But as you can see from the card back, there's just loads and loads to choose from, and some of them are just, they're a little bit too wacky for me. Some of them have got robot arms, some of them have got scythes and weapons that I have no connection to them because it's not like the movie. But here's where it gets interesting. I didn't actually want one that looked like the movie, so I looked online and I just kept on seeing the same Predator figures, and they were all actually out of my price range. They're all coming up at about 30 quid, or £29.99 or £27.99, and as of late I just don't want to spend that amount of money on an action figure where I've been able to pick up much cheaper versions of really good and cool looking action figures for under 20 quid. Even Ultimate Warrior was like 8 quid, well, under a tenner, and I kind of forgot about it and I just left it be. And then I was actually on a website looking at release dates for other action figures and toys that I'm really interested in, and they had a sale, and lo and behold, a Predator figure pops up, and it is the Thermal Vision Fugitive Predator. And I was just like, this is the Predator that I've actually been looking for. It ticks so many boxes in terms of being a toy, as well as being a representation from a character from a movie that was, an 18 that I shouldn't have been watching as a 10-year-old. This is the Fugitive Predator from last year's The Predator movie by Shane Black. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. I've not seen that movie, and it's not really something that I planned on pretty much ever watching. I'm good to go with the first Predator, and I do enjoy Predator 2. But there was something about this, and the fact that it was in the sale, I was just like, this is incredible. It's also translucent plastic and insane day-glow fluorescent colours. It is ticking a hell of a lot of boxes for my insane collecting methodology that I have in my brain about how I want to collect and what type of figures. But from my understanding, this is the Predator from the movie poster of that movie. But I couldn't care that it comes from a Shane Black movie, because when I think about the Predator, I think of thermal vision. I know you see the thermal vision of Dylan and Dutch, you know, all the guys from, you know, the commando elite that go into the jungle, because you see it through the Predator's eyes and he sees in thermal vision. But that's, the thermal vision is the whole thing that I think about when I think about the Predator. And the fact that I could get a Predator done in thermal vision, it blew me away. And the fact that obviously it was cheap, again, is always a plus point when you're collecting toys. So yeah, here it is. The box, again, I'm not going to use certain words that I have done for Marvel Legends, but it is a little bit plain. You know, it's just a standard serif or even a sans serif font. You do have, I'm presuming this is the movie poster, and it is just very plain looking, but you know, you get a little bit of a bio about who the Fugitive Predator is, and you get to see the different poses you can put it in, and it lists that, you know, it's got 2 different sized scythes, you know, the wrist dagger that protrudes from his arm, and then this must be the poster. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a slightly boring box, but it does actually look pretty high end, because it is plain and simple, just very neat and precise. But the rules are, if it's a new toy, it gets opened. But the joy of a more plainer box is you get to see the figure in its entirety, because it has such a large window, and as you can see, it's translucent with the 2 extra sides, and then all that fluorescent goodness, I guess. When I opened the delivery box, I was just like, ooh, it's a lot brighter than I thought, but it's still, you know, it's still in the box at the moment, so I'm not entirely sure. My biggest worry was that they were going to go to town with the amount of Dayglow orange. I didn't want it to be completely, you know, encapsulating the figure like the poster. I didn't want too much of it, but as soon as I open it up, we'll be able to see, you know, how much of the translucent comes through and how much of the Dayglow orange goes. Let me open it up and we'll check it out. So here is the Fugitive Predator in thermal vision, freed of the plastic prison, and oh my god, this is stunning. It is absolutely awesome. You know, I say pretty much every toy is awesome, because a lot of them are, but this is ridiculously good. The light shines through the translucent plastic so well, and my fear of the fluorescent being too much is really far from it. There's actually only a small splattering, so it works really, really well. And there's just extra little bit of details. You know, his shoulder cannon is movable, so you can angle it wherever You decide he has 2 attachable wrist scythes, daggers, whatever you want to call those things, you know, the standard Predator weapon. And you know, and the Dayglow is put on each one. It's a standard Neca affair with the ab crunch, knee bends, foot bends. It's, you know, they all pretty much work on the same sort of points of articulation. So, you know, you've just got that mass amount of posability. You know, the head rotates. It's probably not going to do a 360 because of the arm cannon. And then you've got all his dreadlocks, which are actually rubbery. So you're able to bend them into place, and you know that they're not going to break. The arm shoulder cannon is actually rubberized plastic as well. So there's no fear of that snapping or breaking off when something is so thin. You know, it's got a rubbery skirt. I'm trying to hold that up to the light so you can kind of get an idea of some of the translucency. So much detail, all the webbing on his shins. It's an absolutely stunning action figure. But what you can't tell is the size of it. In the box, it was really misleading because once you put it up against another action figure, it absolutely towers over, you know, all the other Neca figures. Apone's about the same size as the T800 I have. And this just absolutely towers over them. I don't think it even reached shoulder height. This is insane. I can't believe such an amount of plastic cost this price. It's a great version of the character. Yeah, it's not from the actual movie, but for me, it's the representation of the Predator for me. I just think it's absolutely stunning. You know, just I cannot fault Neca at all for, you know, what they do and taking a gamble on, you know, a different take. Maybe it didn't sell so well, that's why it was only like $16.99. Maybe just nobody bought it or is as insane mentality collector like I am. The paint just, it's beautifully put on. Obviously it's put on by a machine, but it has an actual hand painted feel to it. God knows where I'm going to display it because it's so big, but I'm kind of thinking I want to display Arnie, you know, my steel mill version of Arnie, my Frankenstein one where it's a hodgepodge of 2 different Neca figures, Apone and the Predator together, just on a little shelf. The possibilities are endless. It's just going to pop whichever action figure or toy I put it next to. So that has been my look at the Shane Black Predator from 2018 Neca figure. It's usually at this point in the video where I give a life lesson or a moral. Well, it just so happened that I really struggled to get this part filmed, and I lost a lot of confidence in myself because I kept on failing. No, we all fail sometimes, but we should never be afraid to try again. We should always keep believing in ourselves. As the old saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. So now you know, and knowing is half the battle.